Tusting is a jewel in the British manufacturing crown. It's an old company, fifth generation in the family are at the helm now. Originally it was a tanning company, they made leather, but now we spend more time making bags out of the leather that we sell than selling leather. I think that what's important and what people value is they can see the integrity of the product and the provenance from the beginning, because we make it from absolute scratch. We know everything there is to know about the product, and I think that's important. Focusing on overseas markets allows us to ride the storms and the fluctuations in individual markets. So when perhaps things aren't so great in Britain, they'll be doing better in Japan and vice versa. So having a good spread of trade across the world allows us to even those problems out. It also, at the moment, is brilliant because it's allowing us to benefit from all the changes that have followed Brexit with the exchange rate. It means that our product is cheaper for overseas buyers and has boosted our exports accordingly. And don't be afraid to take on something that you haven't done before, because when I became involved in the business, my expertise didn't lie in the areas that I was getting involved in. But if you just decide to learn something, it doesn't matter what it is, you can do it. And that's what I've done. I've studied what I need to know and looked at other people doing it and figured out how you do it and what we should be doing. And so that's all I would say is don't be afraid.
Here you are. This is our one of our signature bags that we've made. We've made this for a long time, and we've made it for a long time in this type of leather. And the origins of this leather for this bag actually came from Timberland boot. They do a high boot. They wanted a waterproof leather, and we were working with a tannery that made that leather for Timberland. And we said, do you know what? That'd make a great leather for a bag. Because it's got oil and wax in the leather, as you stretch the leather, which you might be able to see of it, you can see that the oil and wax moves, and you see the light colour, the lighter dyed colour showing through. Good thing about Spanish leather, actually this does use Spanish raw materials, so they're using cattle, which are good, clean, in terms of you get little insect damage in it. So we buy that, but again it's made with a different recipe to this, to make the leather softer and easier to work, to use for a different group of products that we're going to make. We've always actually made for customers, made for our own line, made specifically for what we want to make product.
We work with a lot of different materials at Avery Dennison, and so to hear directly from Alistair the process that the leather goes through to make it to the final product has been very inspiring.
Well, recently was in the area where Tustings are based, and I was visiting a client who's having a party, and after I realised the connection I thought, oh, I'd like to incorporate leather into our event. I suppose for me also it's interesting thinking about how people want to customise things and have their own colours, because obviously colour is a big motivation in my work, so it's been great.
I learned how important it is to have the family behind it, how important it is to have the heritage. So it's really interesting because you never really know, I have to admit, that much about leather. So you see it in a lot of places, you might go and smell it every once in a while, but you don't actually realise how intricate it is and the whole story behind making it. And I thought it was really interesting to be here as well and to tour the place and to hear also about all the different things that they do as part of the leather makers as well. But also Tustings, the amount of bespoke they do behind it. There's another world that you just don't know about.
It's so important for women to come together and share experiences. The sorority does that brilliantly because it's an informal but guided process. So, one of the things that's difficult about getting together is actually making the time and doing the call, getting people together, and generally, actually some of the admin. The sorority is brilliant because it forces us to come together in the very best way, and we love getting together, but we're so busy that actually sometimes it's difficult to set it up for ourselves. So it's lovely to create the network and have the continuing relationships being renewed by the rhythm of the events that the sorority hold, and I think that's one of the things that is great about it, is it keeps bringing us back together.